Ladies and gentlemen, today on the program, I'm speaking very quietly because I'm still on the road and I'm not in my little studio and I have to be quiet because there are other people around me and I'm trying not to disturb them. This is guerrilla podcasting, my friends. As I speak to you, I'm in the Netherlands. We're now over 5 weeks into this tour and we're going home soon. What you're about to hear was recorded a couple weeks ago in Germany, yet another hotel room. Ken the Zen, Deni Gauthier, myself, and a bottle of wine. A fun conversation with great guys about all kinds of stuff, and I'm recording this intro right now, but I can't even remember what we talked about. So I hope you enjoy it. Take a listen, let me know, and we will be back to more typical, regular programming in a couple of weeks. I have some good stuff lined up. I'm going to nail some interviews, and then we're going to get this thing rolling again. So until then, enjoy yourselves, take care of yourselves, be intrepid, be powerful, be classy, and most of all, be happy, friends. And hey, Deni, roll intro. Hello, you're listening to the John Huff Podcast. Oh, yay. All right, gentlemen. Roadisode number 4.
You know what they say?
What?
Use the force.
They don't say that. Who says that?
Ken the Zen.
Ken the Zen says that. I have in my hand a bottle of Rascon. It's a Tempranillo Vino de la Tierra de Castilla, product of Spain.
Oh, gosh.
What's weird about having Spanish wine in Germany is that the story on the back of the bottle is written in German. It's not written in Spanish. And as much
English.
As much as I'm as I'm learning a bit of Deutsch, I cannot decipher the story they're trying to tell us on the back of this bottle. But we have a red wine. I don't know if Tempranillo is a type of wine, Tempranillo, or what it is, but it looks nice and it smells nice.
This one time, my Tempranillo, he took me out and we got in trouble, and then I went to a jail. And I'm back.
So if you had to go,
Glad you're back.
If you had to be put in a Spanish jail or a Mexican jail,
Ooh,
which jail would you choose? Spanish, you think?
Oh, yeah.
Ken the Zen, you've been in a few prisons.
I have, and I will take a Spanish prison, mostly because if anything gets insexual in there, I would prefer Spanish fly to Mexican fly.
Fair enough.
That's as good a reason as any. Gentlemen, shall we partake of this
Hold on,
wine?
can I tell you a new technique?
All right, what do you got?
So for tasting wine, it's a new technique. Only men can do it.
Okay.
So what you do is you need to dip your mustache into the wine, and you suck the wine out of your word curtain. But only men can do it.
I have an overbite, but I do have a mustache, so that'll be tough.
You can do it.
I think Deni just wanted to say word curtain on the air, frankly.
It's a word curtain.
Deni, shall we walk us through tasting this wine again?
All right. You gonna take a sniff?
All right, sniff.
Stick that nose in there.
Oh.
Get it right in.
It smells good.
I can't smell a thing.
Deni's congested.
I'm congested.
It's a light smell.
So just take a little. If you want to go equal parts there, you can. If you want to be snooty, or you can just gulp it.
Oh.
Equal parts there.
Okay, equal parts there.
That always plays good on a podcast.
I'm going to go swish it around a bit. That's nice. It's really mellow.
I like that.
It's got a bitter aftertaste.
It's body.
It's dry.
It's got some.
It's trocken.
It's got a bitter aftertaste.
It's got body.
We have had worse wines on this tour.
It's nice. I don't mind it. We remember the one wine Ken said tasted like rotten meat.
Yeah, I didn't see that on the back of the bottle.
Something in his biochemistry was resisting that wine.
Well, it was called carnivore cadaver. So I was like, wait a sec, guys.
Yeah, I don't know if we should drink this wine. Then we had one bottle that when we got it home from the restaurant, the lid just came off.
Yeah, I tried to screw it off and it just popped straight off. It was a screw lid.
Yeah, that was just sitting on there. So we thought we might die from that.
Just popped off like a loose banana skin.
Yeah, so, but, we're troopers.
We drank it.
Oh, we drank it up. Ken Lazen's rolling across my bed right now. So, if you haven't gathered it by now, we're still in Germany. This is now week 3 of the Sarah Smith European Tour. We are right now in the fine city of Fürth. I think I'm pronouncing that properly.
I think it's Fürth.
It's definitely not Fürth.
It's F-U-T-H. Fürth.
Yeah, except in Deutsch they don't make the th sound. Fürth. Fürth.
Well.
Does that mean nobody here has a lisp?
Nobody has a lisp.
I haven't heard one German lisp.
There are also no Goths here. They're goats.
Are they?
Or gots.
Goths?
They're gots.
Goths, yeah.
Gots, yeah, also.
They're goats like me?
We learned something else very important about masculinity on this tour.
Some things are masculine, some things aren't.
No, men do not eat ketchup on their
true.
sausage.
Yeah.
Yes, mustard only.
Mustard only for men, specifically.
For men. Yes. They're ahead of the times by being behind.
Who
here.
asked for ketchup? And she was like, no. Oh.
That was me.
And she said, no, men eat mustard. And then he had to eat mustard.
And she was right about that. It was good.
It was a man, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Who rhymed with Jabba the Hutt. That said it. Because I'll never forget that breakfast wiener.
Haba the
conversation again.
Haba the butt?
Yeah.
There's been several instances in Europe where people are like, no. Like, for example, Sarah asked for coffee to go in this very nice cafe that made fantastic coffee. And they're like, no, it takes 5 minutes to drink a coffee.
Right.
So we had to sit down and drink a coffee.
And that's advice well given. We were at a castle at the time.
Yes. And the guy was like, maybe we had to go somewhere. But he was like, he didn't care.
We were walking through Blankenstein Castle, which is somewhere on the way to wherever we were going. And there was like an ice cream parlor. That was the place, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Great guys.
It's just in the middle of a castle. There's like this little shopping district with an ice cream place. Because they were big on ice cream in medieval times. And and so, we ordered coffee from this place, as you would. And he basically said, hey, slow down your life, enjoy a cup of coffee.
Slow down your life by speeding up your mojo.
No, what he said was, no, it takes 5 minutes to drink a coffee.
That's what he said.
Sit down.
Isn't that the point, though?
Yeah, pretty much. What did the waitress say to you when you ordered a beer today, Ken?
Oh, today seems so far ago.
Well, so Ken ordered a beer, and she gave him a beer, and she said, would you like a glass with that?
Oh, yes, okay, yes.
Yeah.
So this lovely lady here in Fürth, she said, would you like something to drink? I said, no, that's okay. I'm going to go down to the restaurant. I'll get a beer down there. She's like, no, would you like something to drink? In which case, I have to follow the universe. I said, yes, okay. I'll take a Pilsner. So she goes to the fridge. She grabs the Pilsner. She's like, and would you like a glass with that? Which I've never had a glass with that here. And I thought, well, she sang it for a reason. Yeah, okay, I'll take a glass. She's like, you're in Bavaria. You don't drink beer out of glasses here.
Bavarians, no.
So I got tricked. She tricked me.
She tricked you.
Jeez.
Didn't you say, like, in Bavaria, men drink beer?
No, they drink from the bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Bavaria is the birthplace of Oktoberfest? It feels like Bavaria is where that came from. Does anyone pretend to know this?
I don't know.
I know that Bavaria is the place
Chocolate
that rhymes with malaria but has nothing to do with it, but also where you have dirndls and lederhosen.
That's pretty Oktoberfest to me.
Which is Oktoberfest. And the boots and the big mugs and the steins.
We met a weird dude today who was awesome. Do you remember that? That was today. The dude with the all-terrain vehicle when we were with Walter at the cafe.
Was that his vehicle?
Yeah.
That was his?
That was his.
Oh, I love him even more now.
So we went, how far back do we go to begin this story? Last night we played in Immeldorf, Germany at this crazy, awesome place called Weißes Ras, which means white horse. It's this crazy little pub in the middle of this tiny town in the middle of nowhere in Germany. And we've played there 3 times and it's awesome. It's really weird. And the guy who runs the joint is called Walter. Walter's one of the people we love most. Great little dude. And this morning we met him for breakfast, which to him meant going to this bakery for coffee, which is not going to fly for us, but it was in this weird little wonderland of a neighborhood. and we walked in and we met this guy. He was like 6'5".
Yeah, and his wife, they're dressed equally amazing.
They were pirates.
Something.
Like some weird...
For real pirates.
They were dressed very old.
Nomads.
Old
Gypsies.
school. Maybe
Gypsies, maybe.
But they drove a Land Rover Discovery.
And he's driven it all over the world.
Badass.
They just drive around, and we're like talking to him about it, and he's like, hey, you live once.
He did say that.
He's going to have long hair and a goatee and drive a Land Rover and dress like a gypsy.
He was awesome.
Yeah. He dressed really cool. He had this awesome bird on his shirt.
Like every item of clothing was of high quality and had adornments.
And was unique.
Unique.
Yeah. Like, I don't know where you get that stuff.
You don't get it.
Somebody
It's
makes
custom.
it for you?
I think so.
It was awesome.
It was very cool.
You run into some interesting people in this part of the world.
Well, the thing is, as a seamstress, you wouldn't put that together and be like, hey, I'm going to sell more than one of these.
That's true. That's true.
It's great.
It takes a certain character to wear that outfit.
Especially now if you make it that large.
Yes.
He was a large man.
Not large, just really
Tall.
He
big.
was super tall.
He's just a big man.
Yeah.
Tall. He's
Yeah.
even, I wouldn't say skinny, but like a big man.
Yeah, like I'm thinking 6'5" or 6".
Like he could be intimidating, except he had no intimidation
No-
about him
no
whatsoever.
malice about him.
Nothing.
I feel like he could be if he tried.
He could be.
Yeah. Intimidation is a weird thing.
Yeah. A lot of it has to do with the person who's being intimidated.
Interesting.
The
Yeah.
intimidatee.
Yeah. The intimidatee.
The intimidating.
I am the intimidatee when it comes to him.
Yeah.
Intimidating
Right.
me.
Even though he's not being intimidating.
No, not at
Being
all.
intimidated.
He's
The bird on his shirt said, give me a hug.
yeah, it did.
Definitely.
But he's the sort of dude who could loom. You ever loom? Like hover above somebody being that much taller? Like you do with your kids or used to when they weren't taller than you?
Yeah.
He could loom. He's that sort of a guy. You know what I mean?
I had a really good feeling about that guy. Immediately, when he turned around and saw Walter, he's like, hey,
He lit up.
Walter.
He lit up.
Walter was like, who are you?
So we just played a show in Fürth. We've played how many shows now? 21? 20.
In 21 days.
20 shows in 21 days. Tonight was really good. We played this joint that was... Well, how do you describe that place? It was a bar. It was a listening room.
Yeah.
Tables and chairs, but it was packed. It's pretty much full.
It was good. Good PA. Lights.
Good PA.
sound
Old
guy.
school lights where you sweat.
Yeah.
No LED.
Yeah. I like old school. So that's a good show. So the first time we talked, we were a week in-ish.
Not even.
We were on the cusp of my birthday.
It was the day before.
We've since had Ken's birthday.
Yep.
How was that?
That's why I sound older.
You do
And a
sound
little bit
older.
wiser, I hope. I feel like I flipped a switch.
Did you?
As soon as I hit 44, I was just, oh man, all of a sudden I just feel alive again, which is awesome. I needed a reset.
Did you seriously get some change of perspective?
Yeah, I feel great.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll tell you a secret. As a veteran of 44.
Yeah. Jeez.
It happened to me too, and then 45 it flipped back again.
Well, the thing about on is it has to go off.
That's true.
Yeah.
What goes up must come down.
That's right.
I'm still dead inside, so.
Denny realized he was dead inside when somebody cried at one of our shows.
Yeah, like I don't have that emotion. I don't have the capability of that kind of emotion.
Does this alarm you, Denny?
No.
You're okay with that?
Yeah.
That's why you should have been a paramedic or a firefighter or something. You can.
Oh, sure, I'm geared for it.
You can distance yourself.
Yep.
From this. Like you're kind of waiting for something to go down that you can get into.
Almost always.
Like when I lit the restaurant on fire last week, you weren't there for that.
I was upset.
Yeah.
A little bit mad that I didn't get to put it out.
Yeah.
I saved the day though. It was okay.
Ken the Zen.
You took a picture.
I took a picture.
Ken the Zen did a great job of documenting that moment.
Yeah. Thank you.
That was in another wonderful little German town called Eisenach, which has a great bar called the Schorschel. Don't ask me to spell that off the cuff, where we've played a couple times. And we had dinner in an Italian restaurant across the street before the show. And they brought out pizza boxes for our leftovers, and the candle on the table lit the box on fire. And this German dude at another table had to jump up and run over and start beating the flames out with his hands.
How high were the flames?
It was good.
Like good foot?
It was smoking.
Yeah, it was good. There was flames. No, there was flames.
Yeah, there were flames for sure.
Flames.
And it was smoking pretty good. Like dangerously close to maybe the restaurant sprinkler system.
To combustion.
Yeah.
It was very smoky in there.
Yeah,
Were they mad?
No, they were fine. I feel like it's not the first time that's happened. Because the waiter brought out... It wasn't.
Canadians.
The waiter brought out another box after, and he nearly lit that one on fire. He had it hovering over the candle, too. It's like, blow out the freaking candle. Can you?
I don't know.
I've got a great story about fires and candles and Libras. So I was at a party once, I'm going to say 20 years ago or so, and I was talking to this lady, and we were having a great time. And she was, like a lot of situations, they're like, hey, what's your sign? I said, well, I'm a Libra. She's like, oh, great. And I said, well, what's that supposed to mean? I'm a nice person, all that kind of stuff. She's like, well, a Libra is the type of person where if the kitchen caught on fire, you wouldn't put it out. You would just sit there and watch it and wonder, why is it on fire? And yet here I was in a restaurant that was on fire, and I did not go to put it out.
About it.
I was curious about, this is funny, and I need my camera. So Libra say, Libra do.
I'm also a Libra.
And you did not put it out either.
I tried, though.
You put it out by blowing on it.
It was working.
It just doesn't work with fires.
It was working. It was totally working. But it also had the effect of blowing the ashes all over the restaurant.
It was kind of snowing. It was a beautiful scene.
The beautiful thing about that is that I felt like such a moron when that was over. But the road tour, like the road life, makes it feel like that was last year. It was probably only like 4 or 5 days ago.
Could have been.
But it was like ancient history now in my perception.
It was only 5 days ago.
Yeah. But doesn't it feel like that was forever ago?
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember eating my spaghetti bolognese.
Bolognese.
That's what I got, right? With the bacon, like the kind of white-ish sauce, like egg white.
Carbonara.
Carbonara. Bolognese is a red sauce, right? Carbonara. I ate it like two of my fists size. Ate it.
Big fist.
And looked at the clock, like at the minute I finished, I was like, oh, better go sing. And I had to run across the street and go start my set.
Did that affect your voice?
I'm going to say no.
Did it affect your performance?
I felt lethargic, but I felt like I had a good performance. But I just had to squeeze harder. You know what I mean? Like like instead of like having an effortless voice, I had to work a bit harder. Yeah, that's all.
What's ideal for you in terms of prepping for a show? Like, when should you eat? What should you consume before that?
Do you want to hear like my ideal scenario for leading up to a show?
Yeah, as long as it's not schmutzig.
No, I get up in the morning, I have a coffee. And then I drink lots of water. And then I have like probably a couple eggs and some veggies, usually like, fried onions and red pepper and spices and stuff. And then I'll have a light meal like a couple hours before I eat. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of water, a little bit of throat coat tea, just because I like tea and honey. Yeah. And then it feels effortless.
Yeah. That's not really been the scenario on this tour so far. Because it tends to be that we get to the venue and we'd sound check and then we eat and then we play.
Yeah, and I don't drink beer at home before I sing.
Right. And there's been several beers on this tour.
Well, immediately. Here's a beer.
It's Europe, yeah.
You're not going to say no.
Yeah. And it's like they just kind of keep coming. It's really strange. But it's probably like that touring clubs anywhere. Do you think?
Not for me. No, for me, like, because I play different. I don't play clubs.
Right.
I played like little small theaters and house shows and then, whatever, stages and stuff. But I don't play clubs very often.
Ken and I play almost exclusively clubs and restaurants. And it feels like that's what's on the menu there too.
Right, yeah.
Do you get a beer right away?
Oh, yeah, all the time. But I think with this, it's earlier shows. 8 o'clock start times is a little bit different.
That's true.
Than what I'm particularly used to.
Yeah.
So
you shouldn't.
Ideally, in a normal situation, I would eat dinner, then load into the club, then sound check, then wait, half hour, and then play.
Right.
But this is opposite. You go in, you sound check, then you eat, and they don't like to do things hush or rush around here like North America. So a meal isn't 15 minutes later; it's an hour and a half.
Right.
And then we have to play at 8 o'clock, or Deni does, and then I watch him and I laugh with my full belly.
The poor guy.
That guy.
You just ate an entire pizza right before going on stage.
This is the problem. This is the problem with the fire in the restaurant. If I had just eaten the whole pizza like I should have.
Like I encouraged you to.
If I hadn't been trying to be so smart about having a post-show snack,
yeah,
I would have just eaten the dang pizza. End of story. And I could have done it too.
Did you say snack? Snack. There's no snacks.
We don't snack.
I ate
on
my
Roadisode.
lasagna. All of it. It was great.
Did you get more?
No, that was it. I ate my whole portion for that dinner in the restaurant with the fire.
Oh, that's
yes,
true. Yeah,
yes. So Ken's a lasagna file. Loves lasagna.
Was it good? Wasn't it good? Didn't look that good.
It was okay. It was okay.
It was okay. It was as far as lasagnas go, it was probably I don't want to put these guys on the bus. It was really nice, and they would definitely listen to this.
The restaurant?
Yeah, I imagine. But it was probably the second worst lasagna I've had, next to like a La Blah Botten lasagna.
What was wrong with this lasagna?
It just didn't have much to it. I don't know.
Not a lot of flavor?
No, it wasn't so good for me.
Denny's gone to adjust the window.
I just want to know if it's rain or wind.
Well, it's been raining. I feel like I'm on Noah's Ark, for crying out loud.
Why is it? Do you see two of everything?
I see two of you. It's been raining.
You're lucky.
It feels like it's been raining for weeks.
I FaceTime my family, and my wife goes out onto the back porch, and it's 30 degrees and blue skies and beautiful, and all I want to do is go home now.
Yeah. It's been raining. We're calling this the rainy load-in tour.
It's been 10 days of rain for sure.
Yeah.
At least.
Just absurd. It's a good thing you can never remember the day you just had.
How is somebody supposed to gel their hair and then stand in the rain?
It's a real problem.
Good point, Ken.
And
I wasn't much into Milli Vanilli, but you know what?
blame it on the rain.
Didn't turn the night, yeah.
The thing is, Ken's hair is his livelihood,
It's pretty much how I get paid.
right?
Yeah.
So it's a good thing you brought the toque.
I'm not sure if that was a euphemism or not, but I carry my toque everywhere I go.
Did you guys ever watch Ally McBeal?
No,
So
never.
there's a character on Ally McBeal. It was named Fish. It was about a law firm, right? And Fish, I forget the name of the guy who played him. Doesn't matter. Total smarm bag, and he was with Lucy Liu on the show, right? Do you remember Lucy Liu?
I do. She's a very attractive Asian lady.
Right. So
Also a Charlie's Angel.
yes.
Heck yeah.
So
I
Fish.
have a poster of her on my wall.
Fish and Lucy Liu, I don't remember what her name was in the show. They were a couple, but they were kinky. And Lucy Liu would give him hair. I don't know where Ken the Zen's going now. You guys, you're like ferrets. You can't sit still for 5 minutes. We gotta have cones? All right.
Deni Longpore is going to be done his wine in a second.
Yeah, Denny's
How long did it take? Man, I'm only...
You couldn't hold it.
Denny's hammering that wine.
You couldn't even hold it. It's getting out of here.
I'm enjoying it.
All right, so she would give him hair, and that was like a massage. She had really long hair. A hair massage, I gather. So she would just like sweep her hair across his naked body, and that was like a thing, and she was giving him hair. I don't know how we got onto this. Ken the Zen's livelihood. He doesn't have the hair anymore, but, you know. All right, Ken the Zen, what are we pouring now?
So we're having a halftime wine shot here.
Baby chicken shots.
So it was my... It was Bach, cluck, cluck, cluck. I don't give a cluck. I don't give a cluck. So luckily I was gifted for my birthday, which just happened. This wonderful liqueur, which is kind of like an eggnog meets Bailey's kind of thing.
Maybe.
And also little waffle cones that are about 1.5 ounces each, with chocolate on the inside. So I'm going to pour this delicious into a little container here of waffle chocolateness.
You can hear him shaking that up. It's
And,
really sexy.
So we can have a little halftime treat.
A dessert at halftime.
Is it halftime already?
Well, not really, but
Well, judging by Denny's glass.
Denny's glass is the measure of halftime.
Denny's in the fourth quarter. I'm in the second quarter, and John's at half.
I'm about halftime here. Denny Boy's rushing through this game. He's pouring it.
Oh, yeah.
It's super duper sweet, this stuff.
Thanks, buddy.
Then
of course.
you eat your cone after.
So the thing, everybody that's listening, the thing about birthday presents is when you get one, don't think that is for you, because that's very selfish. That's for you to share with everybody. And that's what birthdays are for sharing love. As you receive the love, you give the love.
I've heard it said, Ken, that the love you take is equal to the love you make.
I read that on my arm every day.
Ken has that written on his arm. Why did you choose to have that? It's tattooed on your arm, Ken Zane.
Well, I hate to kind of sound like aggressive or egotistical, but it's obvious. Like that's the answer.
Yeah, to life.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. You want to know? You want to know deep? You want to feel like deep feels like? Just think about that for a minute, and it's accurate.
So right now, Ken is sharing the love with us of this birthday treat.
And that's because you guys give me love. And that's why I give you love back. And that's exactly what we're talking about.
God bless you, sir.
God bless you, sir.
God bless you, sir.
God bless us, everyone.
I also have words tattooed on my arm.
Yeah, what do you got, Denny boy?
Have you seen these ones yet?
That's the King's X record, Faith, Hope, Love.
Yeah.
Is that why you did it?
No.
Lame.
My mom had that in our bathroom. Well, I don't know, ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Jesus said it. Said the greatest of, said faith, hope, love, and then the greatest of these is love.
Yeah.
And I'm like, more than faith?
More than hope?
More than hope? Love. It's more important than faith and hope.
See
love is more important than faith.
That was the title of the third King's X record, 1990, which was the first CD I ever purchased, by the way.
Yeah.
Faith, Hope, Love by King's X. And that whole scripture is inside, it's written inside the CD jacket.
Yeah.
And the greatest of these is love.
Love.
That's a real thing. You weren't just making that up.
No,
that's in the Bible, man.
Yeah.
Bible.
Yeah.
Should we...
Is it called the Bible or is it called the Biblia?
It's the Biblia. I think it's the Biblia.
Let's come to a consensus on how we deal with this shot. It's an edible shot. There's a cone with chocolate, and there's like a white, milky chicken shot in there.
There are chickens on the bottle, and we're not sure why.
There's chicken in there.
It's like an egg thing, maybe?
Probably an egg thing.
Yeah, it's like eggnog for sure.
It's pretty sweet, but it's got some zing to it.
Yeah.
So do you shoot it and then eat the thing, or just let's pop the whole thing in our mouths?
I can't. My mouth isn't that big.
That's a recipe for a mess. I think we shoot it, then we eat the thing.
Shoot it, eat.
Yeah.
Just like you would in the wild, Denny.
Yeah, Denny. You're an outdoorsman.
Oh, fair enough.
All right.
Let's do this. Cheers.
That was easy.
Cheers. Oh, I love it when we all come together at the same time.
It tastes like the medicine my mom used to give me when I was a kid, when I was sick.
But with the eggs.
Tastes like exactly like the penicillin that made me
barf.
Yeah, when I was a kid.
I love that stuff.
Did you? Well, there you go.
I went to my doctor, and I asked him why I was in love with you, and he said, "Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah." No, but honestly, I went to my doctor. And I need, years ago, I had something. I needed penicillin. So he's like, I'll write you up a prescription, whatever. I said, can you get it in the banana flavored? He said,
no.
He said, that's for children. I said, can I get it in the banana flavored? And he did. But because I was an adult, I had to go through 2 bottles, which wasn't so bad. It was tasty.
Penicillin is horrendous.
So we were at a lunch when I lived in Ottawa with my mom, and we came home like after a Sunday afternoon, and I'd eaten a lot of food. Mom was like, penicillin time. And I'm like, Mom, don't give me the penicillin.
Why did you need penicillin?
I was sick. I don't know. I was just sick. I don't know. Back in the day, you just get penicillin if you were sick, period. Well, you got some sniffles. Let's take you to the doctor. Get some penicillin. Mm-hmm. This is why we have superbugs. Anyway, she's like, time for your penicillin. And she pulled it out of the fridge and it was cold. And she put it in that special spoon thing. You know, you had to. Yeah. And I'm like, Mom, don't do it. Mom, don't do it. She's like, I'll give you some jam afterwards. I'm like, Mom, please no. She like opened the hatch. So I'm like, okay, here we go. And then she spooned me some jam and I just hurled. I hit the sink, but I hurled everywhere. It was awful. And I can't forget that moment in time. So every time I smell penicillin, our kids have had it once or twice in each of their lives, if that. I can't take it.
So I have the opposite story, and that is I was in a club one time, and they were offering something called Benagers. Okay, so I was like, what the heck is a Benager? So what they did was they poured half a shot of Jägermeister and half a shot of banana liqueur. So I took this, and I was like, holy shit. I just found my penicillin.
Really?
So for the next while, I changed the name, to Jaeger Bands. But
Jaeger Bands.
But I was Jaeger banging at my house all the time. It was so good, and I never got sick.
Gross.
It was good.
So
good.
We had Jaeger the other night, unsolicited. We did not ask for this.
It's gross.
I like Jaeger.
I'm over it.
Ken's had way too much because Sarah was a Jaeger.
Yeah, in the Joys on every gig, we had a 26er of Jägermeister and part of a rider. So I drank a lot, and now I have one, and it's just kind of like, it's really gross to me.
Does it taste like bad memories, Ken? Does it?
It doesn't, but it tastes like I'm probably going to throw up in my near future.
You know what was an issue for me when I was a kid? Did you guys, when you were in elementary school, have something called the brush-in? Do you know what this is? So where I grew up in Owen Sound, once every, maybe twice a year, the local health nurse lady would come to your class and teach you how to brush your teeth, right? It was called the brush-in.
Oh, yeah. Pink stuff.
With the pink stuff.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It was like a...
You'd eat the tablet and then they'd show you all your tartar.
Yeah, maybe that.
Show you how bad you failed at brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
So then we would do a group brush thing, but whatever that toothpaste was made me sick. I hated that stuff. So I was the one kid in the class. My mom would give me a note. Please excuse John from the brush-in because it makes him sick.
We excused our kids because last time our kids go to the dentist faithfully. They've all got really good dental hygiene. We're super anal about it. We make sure this stuff happens. And Ethan, our oldest son, he's in grade 8. He's like, Mom, do I have to go and let that stranger poke her fingers through my mouth? We're like, nah, you're fine. So we wrote him a note. He didn't have to do it. Get out of here with that.
I also remember lice checks in my school. Did you guys have lice checks?
We did have lice checks.
I did. Yeah.
I was clean. It was good.
I was clean too.
Yeah.
It would run through the school every now and again, though. It still does all the time.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Every September.
All the time.
August,
Trust me, dude.
October.
Happens. Every week or so, we get a note saying there's a kid in so-and-so's class with lice.
Yeah. I used to get notified. When I was working at the school board in London 5 years as a public relations guy for the public school board, I would get they would come in to our office. Lice outbreak. Somebody get a letter ready. I was responsible for writing a lot of the letters that went home.
Did you write really eloquent letters?
I wrote fabulous, very official letters because I'm a professional writer and that's what I do. But yeah, we would hear about this crazy stuff. One time they called up and said, we think there's a cougar in the playground. What do we do about that?
45-year-old woman walking around half drunk.
Yeah.
Hey, where's the man?
Keep the boys away. It was weird what things at the time. I'm like a 28-year-old kid. I don't know anything. People who are paid well and in very responsible positions are calling me up. What do we do? Oh well.
Where was this?
I was working for the public school board in London,
and they thought there was a cougar.
Well, bear in mind, the public school board in that part of the world covers 3 counties: Elgin, Oxford, Middlesex.
Okay, so where was this cougar?
I don't remember. But it was in some small school out very, very rural, where it was possible.
Yeah, it's totally possible.
That could have been happening. Very weird stuff would come into that office. It was kind of fun, actually. I don't know how we got that onto that.
It's worth it.
It was good, right? I could tell fun stories about the
We're out of
school.
wine.
We had a guy come in one time. Denny Hoover is done with his wine. We had a guy, you like this, Ken is in. A dude came into the front desk at the board office, Dundas Street in London, dead serious, came up to the counter to ask the two ladies running the reception where he could sign up for Jedi training.
Yeah.
What do you make of that, Ken the Zen?
Well, what was the answer? And then I'll tell you what I make of it.
I forget what they said. I think, I don't know if they might have tipped him off to Fanshawe or Adult Ed or something like that. But yeah, dude was dead serious. Came in wondering what we offer in terms of Jedi training.
Well, the first way to start to be a Jedi is to start in Buddhist training. Because Jedi really are just Buddhists.
With lightsabers.
Explain that, Ken.
With lightsabers.
Explain
because,
that.
well, George Lucas, when he wrote it, it's about Eastern philosophy and the Buddhist attitude of being selfless and all that kind of stuff, mixed with the martial arts of, say, Kung Fu and stuff, so that they could take care of business if they had to, but they never wanted to because it was all about just being peaceful.
Do you think the Force exists?
Yes, absolutely, of course. Maybe not in that way, but sure it does. I believe in things like telekinesis.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of that. And martial arts, of course. And meditation. And being selfless. And that's all Jedi things and Force.
Do you think you get what you think about? Do you think that you attract what you think about into your life?
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to say because you can take that so, I'm not sure the right word, but like so literal.
Mm-hmm.
That like, hey, I'm thinking of a grilled cheese. I don't see frickin' grilled cheese anywhere.
Right.
So in that situation, no. But yeah, I believe if you want to see hate, then that's exactly what you'll see. If you want to see love, that's what you'll see. Whatever you project is what you see.
Interesting. This what you give out will return to you sort of idea. I had an interesting chat with Sarah in the van while you guys were off enjoying yourselves in the back seat with your headphones on.
Yep, love it.
So we were talking about goals and picturing your goals and what effect.
It's marble.
Danny Slam is here.
Yeah, where you like live it, breathe it, smell it.
What effect that has.
Yeah.
And so at the time I had on my phone, I've talked about this, the wallpaper on my phone was a collage I created of views of big, big concert rooms, stadiums, arenas, as seen from behind the drum set. They call these drummer driver's seat photos. And my wall was plastered with these photos because, one of my objectives in life is to play those rooms. Sarah said, well, you should have, therefore, pictures of those scenarios with people in the stands. Like the goal should be as specific as you can make it.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting thing.
That is a very interesting thing, but perhaps your goal is not to play with the people in it. And your goal is just to have the opportunity to play there. And her goal is to play with people in it.
Maybe.
Which is fair.
Maybe.
But that might be it. So what you're visualizing, I think, is fair.
Mm.
And I think what she is recommending as visualizing is also fair.
Yeah.
But there's no right answer. I understand the opportunity to play a large venue is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great goal. And I have similar goals. That's great. It doesn't really make perhaps your dream. The people aren't part of that. It's the opportunity to be there.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But it's all. I think it has to do with communications and stuff too. Like you want to be there and put on a show. You want to see the stage is what you're interested in, and perhaps she wants to be there to connect with all the people that are there.
She's much
because
more
you're different. You're different.
She's way more
characters.
of a people person than I am.
Yeah, you're not a people person. She is a people person. So
it's interesting. So she was
different visions.
She was projecting her vision onto my goal.
Exactly right. That's how I would see that. Yeah.
Very, very compelling stuff. Danny, what do you make of this law of attraction kind of stuff?
I buy it to a certain degree.
I'm surprised to hear that since you're dead inside.
I'm not entirely dead inside. I'm actually not, and I do believe in visualization. I think that you can improve your life, but I think that you shouldn't be disappointed when it doesn't happen.
I think it's important to accept what does and doesn't happen.
I think you need to make the best of what's happening in the moment.
Yes.
And I think that, like, you know, I don't know, I'm 40 years old. I've been a pro musician for 15 years. Mm-hmm. And I tell people this all the time. I wish I was further than I am, but I can't believe how far I've gotten.
Right.
So when, 10 years ago, I couldn't even have imagined that I would make a really nice living playing music all over the world.
Yeah.
And like, for me, and then I get to come here with Sarah too, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I saw like an awful lot of albums. I just didn't imagine that I could accomplish that.
Right.
But I did it. And, but right now in this moment, like I would rather be selling out like 500 seat theaters.
Yeah.
I'd rather be there. I think that's part of that visualization too, is that hunger for something different. If you don't have the hunger for something more, you're probably not going to get there. Right. You're not going to strive to get there.
Right. I would say to that, if you don't have the hunger to do that, it's not what you were meant for anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And honestly, man, there's nothing wrong with working at a bike shop and biking home and playing video games all night long. Yeah. And making a decent living, just being accepting of what's happening in your life.
It's interesting because you can talk about a decent living versus a decent life. You know, for some people, a decent living is what you might consider a small number, but if it's what accommodates for them a decent life, then it's a decent living.
Decent life is the goal.
Right?
The living doesn't matter. Because you can make minimum wage, I know many people who make 6 figures and they're not happy people.
Right.
So that doesn't equate happiness.
No, it doesn't. It's an interesting thing.
Happiness is inside.
It really is.
And visualization, actually, the art, like the technique of visualization, really only goes so far.
I think the thing is, people get all hung up on The Secret. And the way The Secret was presented...
I've read it a bunch.
Yeah. The way it was presented was a little bit thin, probably.
Well, it was too much of a promise.
Right.
You can't promise anything.
The part that was not, I think, as prominent as it should have been is that it's not enough to have the visualization. The action has to follow the visualization.
And sometimes the visualization and the action don't equal...
They don't marry?
They don't marry. It's not going to work for everybody.
Right.
It's not. The majority.
Do you visualize Deni Gauthier?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Do you?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What do you visualize?
It used to be more so dreaming about like playing larger venues, etc. Actually, I don't know. I just try to write better music. I try to sing better. I try to play better guitar. I try to love more. Mm-hmm. In the perfect scenario where it's like a controlled scenario, I get enough alone time that I can actually put out too. Like I can recharge and then I can also give.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's a bunch of factors involved, right?
Yeah.
But I don't like visualize me playing stadiums.
Right.
No.
Then it'll never happen, man, if you don't visualize it.
If it happens, it will. Right? But I know you're joking, but I don't know. I'd be really happy just to sell out like 200 to 500 seats a night everywhere I go.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. I don't know. Do you visualize Ken the Zen?
I don't know if I forcefully visualize what I'm after, but I do have the same vision all the time. And that's just me and my wife sitting on a park bench, and we're old, and there's a nice little river that's passing by, and we're just feeding ducks. And I have that vision all the time. I suppose that would be my heaven. I don't know. But I see it all the time.
Yeah, you've mentioned that.
I look
before.
good old too.
You mentioned, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
You go gray?
And my wife is wrong. No, I go white.
White?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no gray here. I can't get that dark.
I'm going to be stark white, and probably in the not too distant future.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that dude who welcomed us at the club tonight, whatever his name was. Remember that guy?
He's cool.
If I don't cut my hair, I'm going to look like that guy. Just straight up white, long hair. It's already on its way. It's alarming how quickly that happens, by the way.
Gandalf the White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last time we talked about musical revelations of this tour. At the time, which feels like 6 months ago, Sarah McDougall was the selection, for Deni at least. And we have since had more musical revelations of this tour.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So we can talk about this a little bit. My revelation of this tour was...
Oh, God.
Deni!
Oh, jeez. If only we had the keys upstairs and we get a bottle of scotch. We can't? We can.
No, you can't do it. We can't disturb Sarah. My musical revelation was these guys are grown men debating disturbing someone.
They don't want to wake somebody up if they're sleeping because we're here roadisoding and drinking and things.
I don't know what Deni is doing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to conduct a professional conversation here. My revelation musically was the War on Drugs album that Deni started playing for us.
Yep. It's amazing.
A Deeper Understanding, it's called. Yep. And there are a couple of songs on there that are life changers. Like, straight up,
for sure.
Some of the best music I've heard.
Yep.
One of which is called Pain. It's probably my favorite song on the record. In fact, anytime I listen to the album, which is a lot, I play that one twice. I always play it twice on the way through.
It's such a great song.
How did you discover this band, Deni?
My buddy John Fable from down in Indiana.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer friend of mine. He's a patron of the arts. He brings me down for gigs once in a while down to the States. He got me on that. And the National.
The National, yeah.
But the War on Drugs, I mean, National's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
But War on Drugs, that album in particular is a work of art.
There's something very, very special about that record, top to bottom.
Oh, it's special, for sure.
And you say it's not super duper like their other records?
Not terribly. Like, I don't know, there's something special about this one. It's like Arctic Monkeys. Like, the new record is different.
Right, but amazing.
But it's them.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, I love that record. Ken has just brought out some alcohol-infused chocolate.
Also, for my birthday, I got some Jack Daniels filled chocolate.
Looks like Jack Nipples.
Jipples.
Chocolate Daniels. So yeah, I'd like to share with my friends again.
Oh, bless you, Ken.
I do like sharing.
Bless you, Ken. We're going to partake of this. If you want to learn a little German related to this.
Thanks, buddy.
When we were in someplace a couple weeks ago, some of our German friends were there and we were talking. Thank you, Ken. And I learned the word Schokoladenseide.
Oh, yeah. I like some Schokoladenseide too.
Schokoladenseide. So in English, we talk about when we're having a photo taken, a good side or a bad side.
Mm-hmm.
In German, they refer to that as your Schokoladenseide.
Oh, yes.
Your good side is your Schokoladenseide. It's the sweet side, the tasty side. So I enjoy saying that word. What is your Schokoladenseide? Well, it's the backside, man. Anyways, that's an aside. I'm gonna eat this because Deni's gonna tell us about the recent musical revelation he's had of this tour.
So Sarah McDougall, her album.
I was not talking about Sarah McDougall.
I know, it's coming. I throw that way up there on the list of amazing, like Wilco, Sigur Rós.
Are you still listening?
Yeah, I keep listening to it. It's really good. But the new Wilco album dropped like 4 days ago.
Go on.
And I can't stop listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I turn that off and I go and listen to Ghost.
Yeah, buddy.
Like over and over and over again. What's the album called that I'm listening to?
Meliora.
Okay. So there's something amazingly cool, kind of heavy-ish, but with like pop tendencies. Really amazing melody lines. Musically phenomenal. And then the voice. He's a character. and Ken said this, it's kind of like Disney. It is, his voice is like a Disney character in a way.
Super theater. Yeah.
It's not like what you would expect from a metal band like this that like is a movement.
Yeah.
It is phenomenally cool. Very strange and different, and I love it.
So the Miliora record was the Papa 2 era. For those who don't know, Ghost is the whole principle of Ghost is that they're a satanic church, right? It's supposed to be very dark and demonic, but they don't take it seriously at all. So it's very tongue in cheek.
Or do they?
No, they don't. They don't. If you watch the backstory, Ghost is a modern marketing machine. So
they're phenomenal.
So all of their releases are accompanied by this short video clips, storyline that explains what's going on with the band within this cult that they've created. All right. So the original singer of Ghost was Papa Emeritus, right? And he was a satanic priest. And then the second singer, Miliora era, was Papa Emeritus II, Papa 2, right? And then in the Pope Star era, it was Papa 3. And now it's Cardinal Copia, who we Ghost fans expect to be promoted to Papa 4.
Is he going to change his attire?
He will if he becomes Papa, yeah.
Do you think that the fifth one is going to be Papa Boner?
Might be. Might be. Might be.
No, you know, I hear that's a hard job to take.
Hey, can be. Can be. Anyways, there's a whole lore around this band, which is really super fun to be part of. And it's 100% tongue-in-cheek. They're very, very funny. Like, if you watch the videos, they're silly and goofy. And there's this weird separation between the image that you see, and the image is amazing. I had the luxury of seeing Ghost live last year, and it was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. And they're playing in Hamilton while we're on this tour right now, or I would be at that show 100%. And I'm stoked that you got into the band, because I've been talking about them for a while.
Yeah, like, they're amazing. So, like, first Steel Panther and now Ghost.
Yeah.
What's up next?
I'm bringing you around.
Well, I don't know how far to go, dude. It was like White Cross and,
right.
You know.
We're back on the Christian metal.
Kind of. Well, like, I mean, equally as cheese.
It is, but it's in a more fun way.
But like, these dudes are, and most of them are actually real players. That's the thing. Like, I have a thing for that kind of music, like that hair metal thing. I dig it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Now that you're buddies with Joe Elliott from Def Leppard, you're just in that world.
That was a mind-altering experience too, watching those guys. They're amazing.
And then hanging out.
Yeah, we got to hang out.
It's amazing.
But like, the show was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It was good. I learned a lot.
How was Joe Elliott's voice at that show?
Like, exactly like the records.
Was it really?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've heard some live stuff and it was iffy.
I'm sure it can be.
Yeah.
If he's tired, or same with me or you or anybody else.
This is the problem with what remains of hair metal, is that so much of that music was built on the way those dudes could sing, right?
Sure.
All the high notes and that whole thing. And then as you know, you get older, you lose that, and so a lot of those bands,
or you can't do as much of it,
or they, like, a lot of those bands drop tune now, like they'll drop a whole step to accommodate that, which is fine. King's X does that, and they were already drop tuned, so they're really drop tuned now.
They gotta go back up.
Yeah. But it's a bummer, because you'll go see them now and it's like, oh, the singer can't do it anymore. It's not the same. But Joe Elliott was okay.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That was great.
So talking to him afterwards, he's like, yeah, everything was really good up until like the such and such a song, like the third last song. And I felt like I blew my voice out a little bit. Then I struggled for the rest of the night. The last two songs, I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
No.
What about Jeff Keith from Tesla?
He was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're back on Tesla.
Yeah, they were great. I thought they were amazing.
They're great bands.
I was blown away. I like that style of music. I dig it.
Yeah.
Big time.
Ken the Zen, new Alice Cooper EP, buddy.
Yeah, it just dropped. It's called, that's what I'm digging right now. It's called Breadcrumbs, sorry. And so it's a 6 or 7 song EP. And what it is, it's a collection of musicians from the 70s, like MC5 and that kind of stuff. And they're doing a cover album of music from that time. And Alice Cooper's the singer. And it's really good. It's really good. I would recommend it. Breadcrumbs.
How's Alice Cooper's voice these days?
As good as it was in the old days.
Really?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude's an old pro, man.
He's old, but pro is the right word.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
He's kicking ass.
And he quit drinking and stuff, right?
He did a long time ago. He quit in 19...
Found golf from the Lord.
Yeah, 1985.
Jesus on the
and
golf course.
his father was a minister.
Yeah.
So he went back to that full-fledged, and to save his marriage apparently. And he's been sober ever since. And he kicks ass, and he surrounds himself. Little nugget of information for all you singers out there: surround yourself with great musicians, because you're only as good as your weakest member.
Hurricane Nita.
Oh yeah, Nita Strauss.
Yeah.
Is kick ass.
Yeah.
And Chuck on bass is great, and the whole band's awesome. But they've always been awesome.
Yeah.
Ever since
every era. Kane Roberts.
I was going to say from that era on, 89 on, he's always had great musicians for sure.
A Kane Roberts guy?
Kane Roberts, he's got some muscles. Kip Winger on bass is not my vibe. If you watch live,
Kip Winger played.
He played bass on 86 and 87, Constrictor and Raise Your Fist and Yell. And
the hair metal albums.
Those two albums are great in their own right, but the live show wasn't the same.
Really?
And I feel that has to do with the musicians.
Interesting.
Yeah. But everything else has been great since then.
What was the video where... So, okay, Kane Roberts used to play lead guitar for Alice Cooper, and he was like this huge, big, ripped dude.
And co-wrote the two albums.
Did he really?
Him and Cooper wrote most of it, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And he would didn't he have the machine gun guitar?
Yeah, he had this guitar that was shaped like a machine gun, and then he would play it.
He looked like
and
Rambo.
And he did look like Rambo. He was very large, and when it come to guitar solo time, it would shoot out flames and all that kind of.
So one of the videos for, I don't know what song it would have been, Freedom maybe.
Probably. That time.
There's a part where there's the hot chick in the front row, and she's just wearing a tube top or something, and Kane Roberts reaches down and grabs her between the boobs, which you can't do anymore, and curls her. It picks her up, I think, by the top, because he's this huge muscle man.
So Freedom is from the album Raise Your Fist and Yell.
Yeah. And
the tour that followed that is the only tour that I have not been able to find any sort of bootleg video from.
Really?
And apparently it's the most graphic tour of rock and roll ever.
Really?
And I've never, so perhaps that's from that. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
But like I said, I have not been able to find a bootleg of the Raise Your Fist and Yell tour, 1987, 88.
I'm very surprised.
Anywhere. Online, I've been searching forever. And so that's one of the only shows from Alice Cooper that I haven't seen. I don't know what the show is. I don't know. Apparently it's very graphic though.
I would think that was a big, big tour, because those were big records.
They were the comeback records for sure for him.
Raise Your Fist and Yell was a big record.
Yeah, it meant a lot to me for sure.
And then Poison.
And that was after that.
That was on the next record?
That was 89, yeah, Trash.
There was some big songs.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit surprised that nobody has video of that tour.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, I've seen the Trash tour.
Yeah.
I've seen the Constrictor tour. And everything else. Just not that one.
That's
Raise
weird.
Your Fist and Yell tour.
Very interesting.
Found nothing on it. And allegedly it's the most graphic tour ever. So I don't know.
I wonder. There must be.
It's got to be somewhere, but not yet has it crossed my path.
So I like this trajectory because Ghost is very obviously influenced by Alice Cooper.
Sure.
And by Kiss.
Well, let's stop that.
Well, I know you don't want to hear that, but it's true.
Okay.
In terms of being a big costume band with characters and pyro, that's Kiss, man. That's the roots of that. And Alice Cooper is the roots of Kiss. Really?
I don't know if Kiss ever put on a show. They dressed up in makeup, but I don't know if they ever put on a show.
I understand
you can have fireworks or whatever.
What you mean.
But I don't think there was ever a storyline or anything.
No.
More than, hey, I'm wearing leather and makeup,
Yeah.
and I'm singing about chicks, and here's my tongue. That's how I see that. There's no show.
I think that Ghost was probably more influenced by Alice Cooper than by Kiss.
I hope so, because you like them.
I do like them. I love them, and I didn't always. That's the revelation, is that I did not get into Ghost right away. I loved the image. All right, so I saw Ghost before I heard Ghost. Okay, and I love costume bands. All right, it's one of the reasons I love Steel Panthers, because they're all characters. And I loved the image of Ghost, especially in the Papa 2 era.
So sorry, I'm going to cut you off. Sorry, I apologize. But I'm thinking about these costume bands and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So the difference between Poison and Kiss is what?
I don't know.
Like more makeup on your face. But what's the difference?
I don't know.
Nothing.
I don't know.
Nothing. It's the same shit.
Well, yeah, it is. Especially in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like when Kiss took off the makeup and started playing hair metal instead of 70s rock.
Yeah.
They were
Still the same.
They were the
Still
same.
They're just bobbing their head, wearing their makeup.
Right. I'm
Nothing's
not. I'm
going
not
on.
out here putting in plugs for Kiss. I'm just talking about.
I'm taking the plugs out for Kiss.
I'm talking about the roots of Ghost. That's all. And apparently Kiss's whole, like, they're on their last tour right now, allegedly. And
Until they have all new members wearing the same makeup.
Well, I've heard that that's a possibility too.
Right.
Like
doing the same show, which is no show.
The franchise carries on, but with different people.
Yeah.
I've heard that their whole show is on tracks, basically.
Yeah, sure.
Like even the between song banter is on tracks.
And that's totally fine, but what is the between song banter that isn't like, I love you? Is there a storyline?
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything?
No, there's no storyline.
Is there anything? There's nothing.
Absolutely not.
Zero.
Alice Cooper is unique in that way. And Ghost doesn't present necessarily a storyline anyway, either. Their new record is supposed to be sort of a concept record, but they don't present a story necessarily either. But there's a lot of costume changes. Their show is amazing to watch and to hear. But Alice Cooper is unique in that sense for sure. Absolutely. I don't know where I was going with this initially.
Well,
except to say that Deni got into Ghost, which is cool.
I'm really happy for Deni. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, and I also am playing Der Geist on this tour.
You sure are.
Which is my floor tom with the sheet wrapped around it. I'm tomming it. Der Geist.
Yeah.
So, I saw this thing on Facebook. It was, I think, what's the one album that you've listened to the most in your life? And I thought as soon as I saw it, that's a Roadisode question.
Easy.
What is it, Deni?
No, it's OK Computer.
Oh, okay.
You've listened to that album more than any
hands
other?
down. I bought it at the same time as Joshua Tree.
Really?
And I have not stopped listening to it.
Interesting.
At least once a month at this stage of the game. And earlier on, like every day. Every day for a long time.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Joshua Tree is like way up there too, though.
Joshua Tree is one of the great albums in the history of music.
Oh, 100%. But OK Computer, for me, has been easily hands down the most played album of my life.
What is it about that record, Deni?
I can't stop. It doesn't never gets boring.
I need to listen to it again.
It's weird. It's awesome. Wonderful.
Is it a really obtuse record? Is it really strange? You like strange.
It's pretty strange.
Yeah.
It is, but it's very attainable too.
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, it's not as strange as the strange stuff I listen to.
You listen to some strange stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons you like Ghost.
Probably.
I don't know, man. What is Ken the Zen? Can you even speculate on what the most listened to record is in your collection?
If I was to speculate, which I am,
we're so tired, man.
It has to be Appetite for Destruction. I'm sure. It must
really?
be. It must be. Because that's the one. It has to be.
Do you still listen to that record?
I do.
Do you?
I do. Whenever I want to feel like I'm safe, or if I feel uncomfortable, and I have to put on something that I know I'm just going to get right into the music, and the outside world is not going to affect me in any sense, I can always throw that on, and I'm right in it.
Duff McKagan is your safety net?
Appetite for Destruction is, for sure. Duff McKagan's great, but just the overall vibe. I'm more of a Slash fan than a Duff fan. Has little to do with the bass. I'm actually probably more of a Steven Adler fan than a Duff McKagan fan.
Really?
For sure, yeah.
What do you like about Steven Adler?
Cowbell. He loves that cowbell.
So you're less of a Matt Sorum fan?
The problem is I love Velvet Revolver.
Right.
So I do like Massorum, but I think whatever they captured in that moment of Appetite for Destruction is awesome.
That's a special.
For me.
That's a special.
It's really
album.
special for me.
That record was a game changer, man.
Yeah.
That came along at just the right time.
Right.
It was like a straight up. It got lumped into the hair metal world, but that is a rock album.
Yeah,
like,
it kicks ass.
It's and it's timeless.
It really is. I could put it on any time. I love it. I love every song.
Denny Boy, Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses. Have you listened to this?
I have it on cassette and vinyl.
Nice.
And I love them both.
Nice.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
For sure.
When I put it on, though, my kids love it, and Angie always tells me to turn it off.
Too much swearing?
Too much swearing?
No. Like, we'll be like chopping carrots for soup, and like Guns N' Roses. Yeah. Like, turn that off, I'm going crazy. I had no idea why I felt so anxious.
My wife would be exactly the same. Like, I'll have something playing in the car, and she'd be like, I can't listen to this. It's making me angry. Like, that's the point. That's what it's supposed to do.
Embrace it.
Embrace your darkness.
If I had that on, I was chopping carrots in my house, and I put on Appetite for Destruction, my wife would probably be stripping. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, your wife is different from our wives.
Fair enough. Yeah, she's right for me. It's kick ass.
My wife cannot bear the heavy music, and she's so sweet. Like, she goes to King's X shows with me, and King's X is less irritating in that way. It's less aggressive. She's gone to several King's X gigs with me, which I appreciate. She even went to see Galactic Cowboys with me, which was, by the way, the loudest show I've ever experienced in my life.
Aren't they folk?
Yeah. Oh, they're folk, all right.
Folkin' awesome.
Folkin' awesome. And, but man, if I have anything on, I wouldn't play Steel Panther just because she'd roll her eyes at it and get annoyed by the lyrics. Fair enough. Anything else that's remotely rock metal, I got to shut up. She digs indie rock. Like she likes the War on Drugs album, for example. But if it starts creeping up into like getting heavy or anything like that, 9. It's got to go. It makes me too angry. Yeah. Bummer, eh? Ken the Zen's rocking out over here.
Oh, I'm having an appetite for destruction myself.
Yeah. What about the rest of the Guns N' Roses albums?
I like them all. Chinese Democracy. I don't know if I'd call that Guns N' Roses.
It's like an Axl record.
It's Axl and a bunch of other guys. And it took 10 years to record, and it has a specialness in technological kind of ways.
Really?
Like digitally, first time doing this kind of stuff. But it's not the same. It's not the same. I love Use Your Illusions too. I think lyrically, they're probably the best albums ever made, lyrically.
Yeah.
And the music is great too. My favorite song ever might be Coma off Use Your Illusion 1, which is awesome. Yeah, I'm a big Guns N' Roses fan, Axl Rose fan up to like 93.
All right.
For sure. Although I saw them last year or 2 years ago.
Right.
And it was kick-ass. It was great.
Oh, yeah.
It was really good.
I'm sure live they're outrageous.
And even they played a couple off Chinese Democracy, and that was even great just to hear the band play them.
Really?
When I hear that album on CD, it doesn't sound so bandy to me.
Right.
It just sounds like parts put together forever.
Yeah, because it kind of wasn't really a band.
Yeah, it's like a cut and paste kind of
Did
thing.
Slash play on that?
No,
none
of them did. Nobody.
Of them did.
Yeah.
So it was Axl and
company,
like session guys, or
yeah, for sure. He had his own band, Guns N' Roses band, without all those other guys
for
a long time.
Which is not Guns N' Roses.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You know.
Not at all.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Ghost, we got War on Drugs, new Alice Cooper, Wilco. Yeah, there's a lot of music happening. And, of course, I downloaded this new Steel Panther record since we last did a Roadisode, and it's growing on me. Big time. Big time.
That's one of the titles of the songs, by the way.
It's growing on me? I can't give you the track listing. This is a family show. Oh, yeah. Big old E right across that whole record. Sure. But it's cool. I like it. I think it's funny. And I think the music is really growing on me, which is nice because The last couple of Steel Panther records have taken some time, which is unusual, but I dig it. They're playing in Toronto in December, and I'm debating whether I'm going to go or not. Deni, do you want to go?
Yep.
You do?
Yeah.
All right, we'll look into it. All right, dudes, we're an hour and a little bit and change into this Roadisode. How are we doing after 3 weeks? We all right?
I'm solid.
Ken
Day off tomorrow.
Ken the Zen's solid. We have a day off tomorrow.
I feel really good.
During which I'll be editing, I suppose, this podcast. Deni, how are you feeling way over there?
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah?
I'm feeling like not talky though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Denny's burned out on people right now.
Yeah, it's typical for me though.
Yeah.
Yeah. People think I'm an extrovert.
Because you're always fooling around and being a jackass on stage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't realize that it takes energy. I don't get energy from it.
It does. That's the thing. Ken the Zen has been enlightening us on extroverts versus introverts, and one of his revelations is that extroverts feed off of people's energy, and introverts tend to be drained by it.
Yeah.
Is that true, Ken the Zen?
That is, that's totally accurate from what I've read.
Yeah.
And the way I feel too. That being said, I feel really good. Mostly because hanging around you guys.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's good. Yeah. It's really nice. And I've had 2 days off in a week, which is awesome.
Because we did 20 straight nights.
And I had my birthday, and it was a big revelation. It was a big snap for me.
Really?
I feel really good. So
I'm surprised that your birthday was a thing.
I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't planning it.
Yeah.
It just happened. And
That's
there it was.
interesting. I feel like when Deni has a birthday, it changes nothing. You're dead inside.
Yeah. I spend the day by myself. Nobody talks to me.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I don't know what... I've had my last 2 birthdays here in Germany, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty exotic, man. And birthdays used to affect me more than they do.
I do feel a bit left out with all the birthdays.
I know, I feel bad for you sometimes, man. But then you get to open shows and sell your records, so you got that going for you.
No, it's true.
You know?
Sure wish I could just get like a couple hugs from...
I've seen you get lots of hugs, man.
Yeah.
Not birthday hugs, John.
We have to come back in June so you and Sarah can have all the birthday time.
I'm not allowed to be here in June.
Aren't you?
No, not on my wedding
Is
anniversary.
that like an Interpol thing? Oh, okay.
No way. So my wedding anniversary is Denny's birthday.
Yes.
So it used to be really special to him.
Yeah.
But now it's all about me, which is great.
And you have your wedding date tattooed on your finger, and you almost had that ripped off a couple of years ago.
I do in Isengard.
Eisenach, where I lit the restaurant on fire.
I did. I'm missing one of the numbers, but that's okay.
Got the finger caught in the door.
I sure. Yeah, my wedding ring got caught on the lock, on the whatever the door as it was closing, kind of ripped off half my skin. But that's okay.
Did it heal fine though?
No.
Let me see it.
It's kind of missing the front.
It totally is. Yeah. That's okay.
But that's okay. I mean, I know when I got married.
I was there.
It was 6 months, 6 day.
Yes, it was.
I remember when
6
that
o'clock.
happened.
6 o'clock. It was good.
I remember
when
it
that
too,
happened.
because things were about to go off in that club. Because we played our show, and then a DJ came in.
Yeah.
And it was about to go off. It was packed.
Yeah.
Party Boy was glowing over there.
Yeah, we were about to get crazy, perhaps.
Yeah, and the universe stepped in and said, I'm ripping your finger right off.
And it did.
No crazy for you guys tonight.
No.
And that's the way it went.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
True story.
we did get a glimpse, in closing on this episode, we did at last get a glimpse of Party Boy a couple weeks ago on the Reeperbahn in Hamburg, Germany. Because we've heard tales of Party Boy, but have yet to see him. But we played a show, and he came
parts
out.
of Party Boy.
We've seen glimpses, man, but we haven't had an extended
I don't know if we still have.
part.
Oh,
No, I don't think we have
Ken's
either.
really good at shutting down Party Boy.
He did hard that night.
Yeah, I'm a grandfather. I know when it's time.
That's right. He's a papa. We played a show, just kind of a rough show because there was hardly anybody there, and it was like a low energy gig. And then some people were like, "Let's go out."
Oh,
And
a lot of booze.
Something happened whereby it was agreed that we would go into the underbelly of the Reeperbahn.
It wasn't the underbelly. It was an Irish pub or English pub.
We went out. Alas, we did go out on the Reeperbahn.
Sure.
And they took us into this pub where that dude was playing like 90s covers on his guitar.
Lots of shots. Lots of strangers. Lots of booze on trains.
Deni's fist bump was just gone. We lost him.
Man.
We lost him, and then he was like hanging out with a bunch of Liverpudlians, just losing his mind over there. It was hilarious.
Yep. I think I like people more
when you're party boy.
When I'm party boy.
At one point, he looks at me and he's like, I just want to run, man. I just got to run. And I'm like, this dude's going to bolt. I'm going to have to chase this guy down the Riper Bond to save him from himself.
And Ken's like, okay, it's home time.
We stopped.
It was good.
We stopped outside of Cowboy and Indiana, and the question was, do we go in or do we not go in? Because we know people in there because we played there. And so we were having this conversation. Ken's just like, we're done.
I knew that if I was going in, I wasn't coming out.
Yeah. Ken knew that.
So it was time to go.
Yeah.
Time to go.
And we did. But we did get a glimpse of Party Boy, and it was fun to watch for a couple hours. But will we see it go deeper on this tour?
I burned a lot of calories that night just running around fist bumping.
You were fist bumping hardcore.
And dancing with everybody.
You were buddies with those Liverpool guys.
I got a lot of hugs that night. It was great.
A lot of hugs. And then a dude from Nepal wanted you to come visit.
He made me take a picture of his ID and told me I have to come to Nepal. And it doesn't matter if I can't afford it. He'll pay for it just to contact him.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'll be there, man.
I'll be there, man. Yeah, I'm taking it. Party Boy was off to climb Everest.
That's the power of Party Boy.
I was very impressed. And I would like to see more of him at some point on this tour.
Could happen tonight.
It's not happening tonight. You're barely awake.
I'm barely awake.
All right. Ken the Zen is good at shutting down Party Boy. Ken the Zen, do you want to shut down this Roadisode right now?
I bid to you a farewell.
I say good night to you, sir.
I say good night,
I
sir.
say good night.
That is what I meant to say.
Good night, everyone. Auf Wiedersehen. We will see you on the next one. Thank you once again, gentle listener, for taking in today's show. Thank you as well to Deni and Ken for joining me on another fun and inspirational Roadisode. If you want to know more about Ken, Deni, and the rest of my guests, go to www.john-huff.com. That's JOHN-HUFF.com. You can also find the show on Facebook at The John Huff Podcast. If you're an Instagram person, you can find me at JW_Huff. If you're into Apple Podcasts, please do me a big favor and leave a rating and review of the show, preferably a positive one. That's all for this week, but I'll be back very soon. Until then, keep your wits about you, and remember, good things happen when you put yourself out there. Bye for now. I'm on my way home, sweet home.